Blog Talk Radio.
I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
All right, here we go. Huh? It was from the... I had little clips there. Let me take my first caller there right away here. So let me see here. I think I know who this is. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I will kill you. Hey, I will kill you if you don't have my money. I want my money, man. I tell you what, This world has gone to hell in a handbasket.
We're about ready to go to World War III. What do you think, huh? Nukes with Russia?
I'd be more worried about what's coming through the gates down below and how they're starting to elevate and escalate their these attack on these kids and stuff around.
Yeah. Well, that's all part of it. I mean, but they start dropping nuclear bombs, though. We don't got to worry about nothing, you know?
I don't think they're going to do that, Joe. I really don't. I just don't think that
you don't think Putin has the guts?
Anybody.
That's right. I know.
Know that it'll kill everything. Then what? Everything that they plan to do, then what the hell is it good for? So they're just going to drop a bomb on everything.
Yeah, well, that's true. But they don't forget, though, they do have underground cities that they can live for 50, 60 years. You know, they got, you know what I mean? They could put 10, 15,000 people down there, you know?
I've been saying that now for about 6 months. I know for a fact that they've got a lot of migrants that are working these dumbs, and it's I don't think all this money's going over to Ukraine or Israel. I think they're actually funding these underground cities, and what's going to happen is, we're due for a reset on a calendar. When you look at this chronological stuff that I figured out with this guy, and I look at I can go every 138 years. There's something that happens somewhere on the earth, and it's awful. It's either a massive tsunami, volcano. The last big one was in 1902, and that was a horrible year for the world. Horrible.
Yeah.
And
what about that comet that hit? What about that comet that hit Siberia?
Well, they said that was supposed to be the size of a stadium. Now, if that's that big, and if we're told what we're told, and we're supposed to believe that, that should have been, if it was that big, it would have been earth-shattering.
Yeah. Well, it wiped out a good section over there. I'm telling you, it wiped out it. We cleared it out pretty good. I mean, so,
but
who knows?
Something the size of a Volkswagen. A basketball can do that.
Yeah.
Something that big that gets that small, but it's just the velocity it's traveling at that it's going to do. It have a huge dust storm. Block the sun out.
Well, bottom line is this. If they start dropping nuclear bombs and they got these underground cities, we're
hit
screwed.
The fan regardless, right?
Yeah, well, we're dead.
We ain't got a prayer in hell.
Well, the bottom line is this: either the Bible's true or it's not, because the Bible doesn't say anything about nuclear war wiping out the entire planet. Now, it says wars, rumors of wars, but don't be troubled, it says. So either it's true or it's not. So if we have a nuclear war, then we know the whole thing's not true, right?
Let me ask you this. In my journeys of research, I've heard Jesus was not a Jew. I've heard Jesus was a rabbi. I've heard both sides. What do you think?
Yeah. They called him rabbi, but he wasn't. They called him a rabbi, but he wasn't. That's what they say. At least as far as I know.
They called him rabbi because he studied in Egypt, the Talmud. I found this out.
Well, he came out of Egypt originally, but he was born in Bethlehem.
Yeah, it was the biggest learning center. Yeah, but I don't understand why now that I'm starting to get into this more and starting to see these names, Shaddai, Christ. Christ isn't even a name. Christ is an actual verb for the Greek language. It's an action that's to be Christed. And then you have Jesus.
Well, there's many different. We got to remember, there's many different interpretations. Okay, there's many different. You know what I mean?
Now wait, that's what I'm saying. But here, that's what I do. I try to find the first one, the earliest one, and I'm going to go with the Greek Septuagint, which they based the Torah and our old first 5 books of the Old Testament. It's based on that Septuagint.
Well,
so
I studied
now
that.
Greek language. Now
I studied
the
that.
Greek language is around, but the Hebrew that was already had been around and was already a dead language now. That's the problem. See, it was already.
I started looking into it after you brought it up.
So
when you brought it up, I started looking into it, that Septuagint, and I looked into it and all the choreographs and the comparisons and whatnot. And to be honest with you, it's 50-50. It's been disproven so many times, and then it hasn't. So I go back to hang on. Let me finish. Hang on. I go back to the Texas Receptus manuscripts and the Vaticanus, because they're the oldest that we have to date. They go back to 50 to 100 years of when Christ was killed. That's the earliest we have. So that's what they say.
That would be something that it would have to be. See, he died at 33, wasn't it, or 30? 33, I think. So
it'd be around 50 AD, somewhere around there.
Okay, that's not a bad. That's true, because the Septuagint and the Torah and the beginning of the Christian Bible starts in the 3rd century. That's the earliest we know.
Well, yeah.
Yes. So what you're talking about is correct. But here's the thing. Why doesn't there anything around? You have the scholars and you have all the poets and the guys that write the hymns and stuff. These guys that write these, everybody's writing back there. It's completely absurd that we have to look at today. Nobody writes any books anymore, hardly. Or if they do, they put them on the Kindle or whatever. They're burning libraries again. They're burning books, just like they were back then. But the knowledge that was in, like, the Library of Alexandria, I guess, was just absolutely phenomenal, because there's so many people that wrote things. Why doesn't anything conflict with what all those people write? Like, I think there's 41 authors I counted in total. That there's no refute, there's no mention, and it's almost like he didn't exist at all with Christ. Because there was maybe 5 or 6 of them that claimed to do what he did. I don't know if this was a black magic show going on or whatever. It's like a group of people that were bouncing around doing this shit. I got a quick joke.
Well, yeah. Why did
the Jews wander around in the desert for 40? Hey, why did the Jews wander around the desert for 40 years?
Well, that's because they were cursed. That's because God was punishing them, because they were being punished.
But
check this out.
No. Hey, one of them dropped a penny.
I
heard that guy.
That's a good one.
Oh, shit. One guy dropped 1 penny. But yeah.
But remember, everything comes out of Egypt, because Egypt represents the world. That's what they say. I read a book by Charles Christmeyer back about 25 years ago, and it was coming out of Egypt. Excuse me. And it was a really good book, and
that the Giza Pyramid, the Great Pyramid's been in existence. It's been underwater when it was at sea at one time, because there's actually documentation that shows. I forget. I don't know if it was the Phoenicians or who it was, but they look at it as an island, because the actual top of the pyramid is flat. It's got like a 40-foot wide, because it's coming up to a point, but the point's not there. They're called, that's the chief capstone. That's the stone that was rejected in the Bible. So it's so big, it looks like a point, though, because it's so big.
Yeah. Well, check this out, though. Yeah, because you say man could not build those and everything. Okay, but check this out. When God kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden, right? Just say hypothetically, He kicked them out of the garden. Mm-hmm. Well, if I kicked you out, right, and if I just dropped you and your wife in the Amazon jungle, you would die because you wouldn't know how to survive, right?
Exactly.
So God put watchers and these angel-like beings, or these fallen angels, or whatever they were, as watchers, and they taught man how to build and how to survive, and they looked after man until man populated the earth. It's the only way, logically, it could have happened, you know?
If you look at the Bible, it says go out and repopulate. So the earth was already populated.
Yeah, it could have been populated with, with fallen angels, yeah.
Yes, and see, when you think of a fallen angel, you have to take this into consideration. When it says that God created man in His image, that mistranslation from the King James Version, from both the Vatican and the ones that X are talking about, and the Septuagint, completely say something different. They claim that there's the Elohim, which is plural for gods, created man, and it says our image. So we necessarily don't have this, like the Nephilim, that these people want to say they're giant. Now, I just can't picture some guy 15 feet tall having sex with a 5-foot woman. You know, it doesn't work in my mind. I don't see that happening like that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of crazy how that whole story goes. But the thing is, 2 Enochs. I didn't know there was 2 until about a month ago. There's 2 of them. One of them is the one that actually goes up and apparently has the visions and walks with God. He shows the angels show him this and this and that. The other one is mentioned in the Bible, but they talk about Enoch, but they don't specify if it's the one that went to see God or the one that's stuck down here in Babylon. Now that's kind of odd. I don't. There's so much misdirection, and now they're saying that they can tell that whoever translated the Bible, it wasn't 70 people like they tell us. They're saying it's more like 3 people now, total maybe 3 to 2. That because the way it's written in every single book, it's in the same tone of your structure of your vocabulary. It doesn't vary. So
but all the books are thousands. Yeah, but all the books are 1,000 years apart, though. I mean, the Book of Job is the oldest book.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I know some of them aren't. But check this out. This is how I look at it. This is how the bottom line is that history, okay, we could debate all along about history, but you know what I did is I went and I looked at people that have died and have come back to life and looked at their testimony, people from the last 20 years, 15 years, and see what they've experienced and because life after death is stuff, that's what everybody's always curious about. And let me tell you something, most of these people from around the world have given just about exact similar accounts to everything that they experienced after death when they were brought back, when they died and then came back to life. The same thing. They all basically say and see the same thing, So what does
How about this?
Now,
watch this. What if I was to tell you that these people back then were so smart that they were performing operations and they were doing surgical work on the brain and things that we know of now. There's a book by a physician named Galen, Galen. It's 4,000 pages long, and it's nothing but the interactions of different drugs. What I don't know how in the hell you have that many, but they had them. Here's the thing. What if I told you that they had figured out that a snake venom, it's called the death bringer. They could give you a snake venom, and they talk about these Christ. That's exactly where this comes from. The Christ carried this poison. I want to call it poison or whatever, but they give it to you, and they tell you if you want to get your salvation, you have to die, and they will bring you back, and then you will have your salvation. How do they do that? Well, you get bit by a snake. Remember, Paul got bit by a snake, and it didn't even faze him. That's a big deal to this because he's part of the cult that's got the snake venoms that they take. They are practicing in the ritual of death bringing. They let somebody die. They give them the antidote. Guess how many days later they come back to life? 3. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
Well, here's what happens.
There's a lot of false.
The antidote. Now these guys are addicted to this shit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, these guys are addicted to these drugs.
Talk about getting aggravated. Let's see here. Hang on.
Hey, if you're taking drugs, and you are on a horn, it was actually the North African horned viper, supposedly the most deadly snake on the planet. Well, when you take that and you don't get this antidote, you actually start to hallucinate very badly. You get dry. It's basically sucking the wetness out of your body. You're drying up, and you start to go crazy. These guys were taking these drugs, Joe.
Well, I don't think they're purposely taking drugs, but, Joe, I don't know.
Joe,
but how about this?
Hey, they're calling them pirates for one reason.
All right, well, let's call our wonderful politicians here tonight. Let's call our wonderful politicians. Let's call one of them. Hey, let's call, which one of these sons of bitches you want to call? Let's call. Yeah, what are we going to ask them, though, tonight? What's on the top of our minds tonight? We don't want to talk about the assassination attempt. They're not going to give us no information.
No, absolutely not. No, because if I was going to ask them anything about that, I'd say, hey, listen, you guys want to talk about another assassination attempt, and you have the CIA. These guys are the elite of the elite. How come this guy's not dead? If this guy, if you're the elite guys,
let's talk about something more next to planet Earth here, protecting the border.
I would like to know what my state or your state, why they are permitting these bastards that have no ability to read and write my language. You're giving them a driver's license and permitting them to drive a car because now there's been, I think, 14 people killed total in car accidents because these stupid bastards
All right,
can't
explain
drive.
This to me. What are they doing? This is the first I heard of this. To explain this to me. What are they doing?
Well, they're giving them driver's license. They're giving them a permit as soon as they get here.
Illegal aliens?
They go to the Yes. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start off by asking that question. All right. Don't interrupt now until pause or whatever.
So they give them they get a driver's license, then that gives them the permission to vote. You see where I'm getting at with that?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Let me call my first one here. See what I'm going to ask them about this. I'll see what they got to say. All right. Here we go.
I'll mute myself.
The number you have dialed is not in service.
No,
please check your directory
that's not good. That's off to a bad start. Okay, we'll try another one then.
I'm surprised you didn't see that video of that guy that kid's dad that died, or the kid died and his dad was doing a press conference, and he said,
"Yeah, I knew they were doing stuff like that, but I heard, I didn't know it was widespread. But that makes sense now because they want them to vote, But hang on, let me get another number punched in here. Let's see here. Whoops.
Speed limit sign.
Yeah, I know they can't read it because it's in English.
Exactly.
But let's see if they deny it. All right, here we go. Let's see. I gotta make sure I got it dialed in right here. It's 6-8. Is that the right number here? 6.
Joe, get him to tell you.
6994. Hang on, I got the wrong number.
Get them to say that they give them the driver's license or they are permitted to drive, because if that's the case, the identification they have, then they can put their fucking boat in.
Yeah, I know. All right, let me go. Here we go. Let's see here.
We're sorry.
Oh,
you
man,
have a
what's
number
the
that
deal
has been
here, man?
disconnected or is no longer.
That's two numbers. What did I get? All these numbers wrong? No, I could not have, man. Come on, hang on. Let me try this. If this one's no good, then I got them off the route. I'll have to go to the other page. Then hang on. Let's try this one.
What states you trying to call?
I got obviously on the West Coast, Nevada, stuff like that, California, any state that's on the West Coast because they're behind us. All right, hang on, 651. Let's see, 651. All right, hang on, 651. I can't. 651. Let's see here. Let's try this one here. 4040. All right, here we go. This is a state senator. All right, let's see. It's got to be. I could have gotten him off the wrong page. I was distracted when I was doing it. Hang on.
Office of Senate Minority Leader Brian Jones. How may I help you?
Yes, how you doing? I have a question. I've heard we're talking to a couple of my friends here today, and we heard that, is this true? I don't know if it's true or not, but is it policy now that where they're issuing the people that are coming across the border temporarily before they get their citizenship driver's licenses so they can vote now?
So I'm just going to be honest, we're a state office, so we don't really deal with immigration, but I can tell you that illegal immigrants are eligible to get driver's licenses in California. I can also tell you that it is against California law for them to register to vote. You have to be a citizen to vote. So whether it's happening or not, I can't speak to that, but
all right. Because if they get a driver's license, that would open up the window for them to go to a poll and vote, right?
That it would be against the law for them to do so.
It would be against the law. Well, but they're breaking the law by coming over here illegally. What's another law? You know, I don't think they're worried about breaking another one. But yeah, but I see your point though. Okay, but it's not policy. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your time.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Have a good day.
I was going to say, Joe, ask her, say, well, if they issue the driver's license to stay in California, what's to stop them to go to Arizona with that driver's license and just do a change of address?
Yeah, but if they get their driver's license in California, they can't go to Nevada and vote. You have to reside in the state you're voting in for at least a certain amount of period of time.
That's what I'm saying. So if they give it to you in California, like they're doing, they're handing them out like candy, and you're going to stay in Nevada, you get your California license, you go over to Nevada, you get your residence established, and that's you're good to go.
Yeah, but you have to be there for like 6 months. You gotta show proof of address.
Sure
when I
would
register to vote, you gotta show proof of address for at least 6 months. You know.
I know that. Yeah, I know they ask for like a utility bill and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean you're asking. I mean these people can't speak English as it is. You're asking an awful lot for them to travel to another state just to vote. I mean they're idiots. You know, they're probably gonna be picking them up in buses, dropping them off at the poll. You know.
Straight up, that's the most honest fucking one I've heard you call. The most honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah, we got an honest answer there.
Yeah, and she knows it's bullshit. She knows. She's like, well, we're not. She's not standing behind it. She had no conviction in her voice.
Well, she was a minority leader, so that was a Republican. So yeah. All right, well, let's try another one here. I'll let you do the talking then. How's that? Hang on, here we try another one here. Let's try this one. I'll let you go first then this time. All right, because I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just that when they want to keep going, they got they're going to hang up, and I don't want to drag because then they get frustrated and act stupid. You know.
Yeah,
all right, hang on.
We did this before. Man. We got to get these guys.
I
can't believe that. She admitted it already.
All right. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna dial them. All right, here we go. 916. Okay, hopefully it's a valid number.
Don't be calling no crazy ass hooker place either.
Senator Dross's office. May I help you?
Yes, I got a question. Are you guys, is it permissible for an illegal immigrant to come into the country and obtain a driver's license in this state?
I'm sorry, say that again?
If an illegal immigrant was to come into this state, are you guys providing them with a driver's license? Because I've seen several different news clips where we're having these illegals are actually driving cars and causing accidents, and they don't speak the language. They can't read the street signs, and it seems to be becoming a problem. I'm just trying to figure out how they're getting the permission because they say they have the driver's license.
I don't have an answer for you. Sorry.
Okay, now here's my other question. If they were provided a driver's license, does that not give them the right to vote, permission to vote then?
I don't know where you're getting to with this.
Well, what I'm trying to say is if the states are giving illegals the ability to have a driver's license, then they're also giving them the permission to vote. Because if you have your driver's license as a state identification, you can use that to cast a ballot. Am I correct?
I assume, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where, but Thank you for your phone call.
So,
I'll pass on your message.
Thank you very much.
Day.
You too. Jackpot! These sons of bitches, I guarantee you, every one of these sons of bitches
you pissed her off.
And I was nice. Did I say anything bad?
Oh yeah, no, that was right. Yeah, but you pissed her off though. She got pissed. She was like, "Damn, that son of a bitch! I ain't one of them Republicans. I know he is."
Oh, you call a Democrat on me, fucker. Oh God! If I had thought about it, I'd be like, you know what? We're not going to give them the driver's license, but we are going to give them the card that they can ride another ass right out of town. Yeah.
Right
that
let's call
out.
the secretary. Let's call the Secretary of the State then, and get some answers on this because they would know. I mean, about this, we'll find out.
We know each state probably has a different policy for obtaining the driver's license if it gives you the permission to vote. Regardless, it's a possibility, and they're not even turning it away because they're driving.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see, I got the right number here. So you have to make sure I get the right number. Okay, so this will be the Secretary of the State. Now, you want this one or you want me to talk?
Go ahead, it's your turn.
All right, okay.
Tell them your gay lover's on the phone with you. We both have questions.
Thank you for calling the California Secretary of State. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality or training purposes. For information related to forming or terminating a business, statements of information, notary public, apostilles, Uniform Commercial Code, and all other business-related inquiries, press 1. For information related to election matters, press 2. For information related to campaign finance and lobbying activities, press 3. For information related to the California State Archives, press 4. To hear these options again, press the pound key.
They usually go through it twice, and then they'll connect you, usually.
For information related to forming or terminating a business, statements of information,
let it go on through one more time.
Notary public, apostilles, Uniform Commercial Code, and all other business-related inquiries, press 1. For information related to election matters, press 2. For information related to campaign finance and lobbying activities, press 3. For information related to the California State Archives, press 4. To hear these options again, press the pound key.
Right, hopefully they don't give it to me again. Hello?
For information related to forming or terminating a business, statements of information.
You got to see. Blog Talk don't give me an option. I can't. There's no way I can press. I don't have a keyboard here that I can. I'm on it's a headset, so it don't give me that option. All right, let's try another one here then. All right. Let's see. All right.
How the hell does that give you?
I wonder why those other numbers were false, man. Let's see. All right, 619. All right, I think this is Imperial Beach, San Diego, California. Hang on. This is right down by the border. This is right near the border. So we should. Let's see, 7676. Let's see here, 9090. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go.
Thank you for calling Senator Padilla's office. How can I help you?
Yes, I got a question. I was talking to a few of my friends. I was seeing some news reports.
Yes, I'm speaking.
And I was just, my name is Joseph.
Okay.
My name is Joseph. Okay, hi, how you doing? Okay, good. I was reading some news reports, and I don't know how true it is, so I'm just trying to call to confirm it or not. The individuals that are coming across trying to seek asylum or the immigration problem, are they being issued driver's licenses that by the DMV, even though they haven't obtained full citizenship yet? Because I hear a lot of accidents happening, and they're saying, I don't know how true it is, they're getting into accidents because they can't read the street signs or not familiar with the roads, and they have driver's license. And I was just wondering how they got them.
That they had a driver's license, or that they don't have a driver's license?
No, they did. Some of them did have one, and I was just wondering how they get a driver's license.
And where did you see this story at?
The local news media. It's been over the past couple of weeks.
Which one?
There's been Oh Lord, I could go to Channel 8. I got my friend on the line with me. Which news media did you see it that was you were talking to me about?
And then, Joseph, what's your last name and your address? I'm going to input this comment.
Well, I don't want to give my address. I don't want to give my address because
okay.
I don't think that's relevant. I'm just making an inquiry. That's all.
Okay, so making it. I know, but I input everything. So, what's your last name, your phone number, and that way I'm going to have somebody get back to you. Okay. I'll have somebody.
Well, I don't want to. No, I don't want anyone calling me back. No, I don't want that because then I'll get bombarded with telemarketers.
I have to look into things. I have to look into things, so I can't. Just
so you don't have. Okay. No, ma'am,
thank you.
That's fine. If you don't have the answer, I understand. That's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm just asking if you don't have the answer, then I understand. So you don't have an answer for me? Is that what you're saying? Right? Aren't they nice? See, they pull that trap. I don't want you. I don't want my information given to you. Why do I got to give you my? I don't have to identify myself. You identify who you are.
Exactly.
Okay, Cross. That's Padilla. We've dealt with him
before. Why am I calling
so.
you? You know what I'd say to her? Why am I even calling you? You don't know anything. Why are you answering the phone?
I know.
You should be pushing the broom. Put the broom down.
Yeah. They don't know anything.
Put the phone down.
They don't know crap.
Hey, put the phone down and pick up the broom.
Yeah. So obviously we're not getting any answers on that, on that driver's license issue. So what did you hear? So you saw news reports where people have gotten into accidents?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now here. I'm looking at my...
Yeah, that'd be nice. If you would have had that news report, I could have slammed her with that, right off the bat, Because I knew I know they were giving them issuing them drivers. I just didn't know they were doing it on purpose so they could vote, Well, it wouldn't nothing put it past them, but...
We have the problem with, in Ohio is where I saw it, and there was a debate whether or not they had a driver's license. The idea is that there's 20,000 Haitians that have been brought to Ohio, inside Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been there.
That's right.
So what happens is they're using the ploy that they need the workers there because they got a new plant. I forget what it's for. But they have the job opportunity, so they dropped 20,000 of them there. Now, that's where the school bus got rolled over and killed that kid, and that guy was on the news talking about, he was saying some of the most outlandish, crazy, that guy needs to be locked up because he's a piece of shit what he is. You got to watch that video, what that guy says. It's just a complete berserko. But I'm looking at an ad right here from the New York Post. It says the influx of wild driving Haitian migrants turning into a problem. And it says 5 days ago, 11-year-old Aiden Clark was killed when a 36-year-old Haitian driving without a U.S. license caused the school bus he was riding in to flip over. But the thing is, I know I saw another one where the guy was actually holding his picture and his ID. Now, if they
I know. Well, I wish you had the report. I wish you had where you got it from, because then I could have hit her with that, like, for instance, because they're slick. They know how to answer. They know how to trick you, But she just hangs up on me too. How rude! Huh?
Because when you're over the targets, you're either going to get you're criticized or you're going to get hung up on. Period.
Yeah.
But
sons of bitches they are.
Yesterday. Huh? I went to the DMV yesterday to get tagged, and there was 2 Mexicans in front of me, or wherever they're from, and one of them had a phone. The other 2 didn't. But the guy that had the phone could speak, minimal English. The other 2, not a lick. So they're going blah, 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 and I'm watching. They all 3 are in line to get tagged for cars. They can't even read the book and speak the language, is what I'm trying to say. So how can they read the fucking street sign?
Yeah.
That's right in front of me. And the one guy had to do all 3 of their translations because he's using the translator on his phone because he still don't understand it well enough. But they got their tags.
That's bad.
And their
that's
title.
Bad. How are they passing the driver's test? How are they passing it?
I don't know, Joe.
That's crazy, man.
Apparently, this what's going on in Springfield. Apparently, the guy, the sheriff and the father did an interview, and they said that they give them a temporary driving permit for 45 days. During that time, they're supposed to take a test. If they don't, they will reissue another one. It's just like a...
What?
Come on, man. Yes.
That's
they
crazy.
want them to be able to vote. Yep.
Yeah. Well, what you said is on target. That's the goal. They want them. And look, what do I scream at? Well, you don't call into a lot of these other shows when I argue with some of these people about this. Look, man, we don't have the numbers, even if these elections were legit. We don't have the numbers anymore for Trump to win. There's just no way. There's 25 million people extra in this country that are not going to vote for Donald Trump. They're just not. So, you know what I mean?
Joe Biden came out of the basement once. You got to remember that, too. He came out of the basement and did a debate. Well, last time he didn't even do that. Now they put Kamala in. You're having debates where you didn't have that before. He sat in his basement and he won by 80 million or had 80 million votes, they say. What the shit?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had 80-something million votes. Exactly. Come on, man.
And you haven't
where do you think these votes are coming from?
And they haven't changed anything in the system to alter that fraud, to stop it. They got the same system in place that they had in 2020.
Yep. If anything, our numbers have dwindled. Our numbers have dwindled,
Yes. Guaranteed. Yes, we're on the backside. I'm going to tell you, it's a shit show. And I mean, if Trump wins, there's going to be burning of cities down anyway. They're already saying it. They're all.
Oh yeah.
So if he wins, now if he doesn't win and people are vote, they should burn cities down too if he doesn't win. You would think.
Well, I'm not calling for that. I'm not going to call for that.
But I'm just saying
the law.
In theory,
yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Yes, if you're mad about Trump not winning, you should be as adamant about as they are if he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's such a. Here's the problem. It don't make a damn bit of difference if you got her, you got Mr. Potato Head, and Trump all sitting on the same chair with the same whatever outfit they want to wear. They want to call it the three-headed horse. I call it the three-headed dragon. It's all Zionist bullshit because they are not running this country.
No, the Federal Reserve runs the country with the bankers and money. Money makes the country go round.
That's the state of Israel, I believe, is running this country.
And it's the state of Israel and the Roman Catholic Church because the Vatican, their stockholders are Catholic, Roman Catholics.
Hey,
I mean, Trump appointed Roman Catholics to the Supreme Court. I mean, that woman that he appointed, she's a diehard Roman Catholic.
Hey, Trump just appointed another person from Netanyahu's cabinet to his cabinet. On his
team. What do you mean his cabinet? What do you mean?
The guy, I can't even say that prick's name. What's his name? Netanyahu. How do you say it?
Netanyahu.
No, okay, Netanyahu. I'll call him Netanyahu.
Yeah.
His people that he has in his little cabinet over there, Trump pulls one of those guys out and brings him over here and has now employed him under the Trump campaign. They just did
under the Trump campaign. I thought because you said cabinet earlier. I was like, wait a second, did I miss something?
He's going to be in his cabinet.
Yeah. Well, where's all the other callers at, man? I do my show when I'm supposed to do it now. Everybody yells at me for not doing it on time, and nobody's here. What's going on? What are we, boycotting Joe Gibson's show or something? What's up? I only got like 4 callers on the line. What's up with that?
Well,
what's up with that? Hey, that's fine. I'll shut it down,
Right.
I'll go a different route.
We don't have to sit around and talk to these jackasses and call these politicians. We already know what their answers are. They're fraudulent. They're crooked.
Well, I mean, I'll go a different route with it. I'll start pulling in other different types of callers. I'll go militia or something like that, or sovereign citizen. I'll start doing that educational stuff. Or we'll get like the groups or whatever. Or Republic stuff like I was doing there for a while. I switched it up and let everybody call in and talk about politics or other issues they want to talk about, just gossip. But I can go back to what I was doing before. I don't have a problem doing that. I mean, I could put the word out. I can get 30, 40 people on the phone line. It's not a problem. I mean, I've done it before, but I just don't like having that many because then everybody's shouting over each other.
Right. I'm looking at this article now. This one, it says, how does granting driving privileges to undocumented migrants affect traffic fatalities? It says March of 2023, Minnesota became the 19th state to allow undocumented migrants to obtain. Right. So right there's a state. Minnesota does it. Minnesota allows.
Well, look, Look, you got to be careful when you get on here too, because listen, a lot of these guys are paid informants and they're snitches, and they're wannabe snitches, and they're trying to get information. So a lot of these people, you got to be careful that are on here. See, a lot of these people, we don't know half of these people, and you don't know who they are. You know what I mean? A couple of these people, I know who they are. I've spoken to them privately, and I've met some of them actually face to face. But a lot of them, I don't know who they are. And they come up with fake names, fake usernames, and it's not really their name, and they're calling from the blocked numbers, and and they're hiding stuff, hiding their information, which they, they're doing it not to protect themselves, they're doing it because they don't want you knowing who they are for a reason, So you got to be careful, you know what I mean? So you just don't know what their agenda is, like there's a couple of people that are out to get me. I know that for a fact. Because I know they're wannabe rats. So I mean, they're constantly scrolling through my eBay page. They're going to looking at the court when I filed that lawsuit, asking me questions about that. I'm not stupid when they ask me questions about stuff. I know what the hint lines are and what they're trying to do. So they're little rats trying to jam me up. Because you're trying to incite. Well, no, I'm not trying to incite nothing. So just knock it off. And I'm not a Nazi either, so I'm not a member of the National Socialist Movement, so knock it off with that crap, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, they supported your campaign. No, they did not. All my donations are public knowledge. I have to disclose all my donations and who they come from by law. And then not one came from a neo-Nazi group. So knock it off. It's so asinine.
Didn't one of the guys that you ran against, was it not the sheriff guy? It was somebody else. I think he was running for another district or something. Didn't you tell me that he was under the same scrutiny that you were, kind of? Was there another guy in North Carolina that had that problem?
No, not that I ran against. There was another guy in another state. They did actually. ADL did a thing. They pointed out about 6 candidates, and 3 of them were members of groups. I think one was a KKK member and something, and 2 others were. But for the most part, the other 3, like me, we were not. We were just victims of what we posted on social media. They're saying that's racist, or I put Europa, the last battle. That's on one of the news stories actually on the internet. They got a picture of me and a picture of Europa. The Europa picture. That's racist.
I just found it. How about this? I just told you, Minnesota does give undocumented immigrants driver's license for the simple fact is they are saying is it stop or put down the numbers statistically for hit, skip drivers. So that they know. We know that for a fact. I got that right now. I can send it to you. Here's the kicker. To get a driver's license in Minnesota and to be able to vote, you must be 21 years of age, provide proof of identity, pass a vision test, pass a written test, pass a driving test. Does not say shit about your residence.
It doesn't say nothing about being a citizen?
It says you got to be 21 years old, provide proof of identity, vision test, written test, driving test, and pay the appropriate fees. That's the only thing that state requires you to have.
Oh, my Lord. No wonder why Omar is going to win up there and continues to win. Because that's the requirements from Minnesota, right?
Yep, and they burned that town up, didn't they? In that whole shit show?
Yeah.
20? Yes.
Wow. So, yeah, that's crazy, man. That's insane. There's no Constitution. They're not obeying the Constitution, and you have to be a citizen. I mean, oh my goodness. So our republic's gone. I mean, that's insane. So anybody can vote up there basically. Oh, that's all I got to do is go move in with Fred Rivera, and my name's Paco, and just go get a state ID, and either hand them out like candy. You can go to a gumball machine probably and get one up there, and and take a picture, and then go, to the election board and say I want to vote. That's all.
Yep.
That's it. That's insane, man.
I know you can buy some ammunition in vending machines now. I've seen a couple of shows on that.
That's crazy.
Oh, God.
That's insane. Man, oh, man. Well, these are the things that people should be talking about, on these podcast shows. Instead, all they're doing is Trump, 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 Fanny, 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 Trump, Trump, Fanny, Trump, Fanny. That's all they talk about, and it's like, it drives me crazy.
Hey. Wait a second.
What's that?
I'm looking now. I'm looking at this other article I just pulled up. It's about what you must have just to vote in Minnesota now.
Well, yeah.
Well, they are shit show altogether. You're not supposed to be able to use a P.O. box number. Is one thing I thought you're not.
No, you're not. Nope, you're not. Nope.
Yeah, Minnesota permits that. They do permit that now.
I'm writing this stuff down. So I'm going to investigate this.
I think it's
so they allow you to have a P.O. box. How's that freaking?
March 4th, 2022 is the effective date. Or May 4th, 2022.
I don't know if I'm thinking about running again. I mean, after this election next year, actually, I start campaigning again for the House of Representatives. I mean, I don't think I'll stand a chance in the way things are going right now in this country. I mean, I don't think we'll have a country. I don't know. Things are getting pretty rough.
You know what? I
could always switch to Democrat.
What difference does it make? It's you know what? Look at it this way. With all the pieces of shit that they've let in out of every criminal establishment in every other country that they sent here, they sent the worst of the worst here. It doesn't make a difference what color you are, what gender you are, what Republican, what party you are. It doesn't matter because these people are savages. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care.
You got to remember one thing. You're taking people from anywhere in the world that they want to come here. They got their door wide open. So if you have someone that comes from, let's just say they're a decent person, they haven't even gone to jail in their own country. But when they get here, the laws are not the same. They're established. You have a third world mentality coming full force.
Yeah.
Not just because they don't give a shit about any of the laws that are written here because they don't have any of them written where they're from. So they're not going to abide by it.
They have no patriotism. They don't care about America or its history or its foundation. They don't like the flag. They don't love and embrace the freedoms that we have because they come from shithole countries that don't have any freedom.
More so, they probably despise us because of what the CIA's done. They probably have a bad taste in their mouth because they probably had encounters of if we try to go in and set up a democracy in their country or whatever it is. It's just the fact that
listen to what Boost Mobile did to me. Listen to what Boost Mobile did to me while I got you here. Right, I got on August 17th. It was my birthday, so my sister was visiting. So she says, and so we went to Boost Mobile store. And she goes, "Why don't you get yourself a phone?" She goes, "I'll pay for it because it's your birthday." I said, "No, you don't have to pay for it." So after, I said, "All right, well, at least let me throw $100 towards it." So I put a $100 bill down, and she paid the rest. What the hell was that? Hello?
You hear that?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. I heard it too.
What was that?
I have no idea. What the hell?
Huh?
I don't.
Is somebody on the phone here?
It sounds like somebody else who picked up a line. If you're listening to us and we haven't given you permission, we're kicking your ass when we catch you. We're kicking your ass. Free of charge, and this is for entertainment.
That's weird,
purposes.
Man.
I heard it exactly like you did.
Yeah, you heard it too. I thought I was hearing things. We caught him listening in because I don't have any other lines open right now. There's only 5 people on the phone.
I really pissed off that lady you called and I asked.
Wow.
Hey, well, look how fast
crazy,
they caught that guy
man.
who was going to shoot Trump. They caught that guy a half hour after they said that guy was going to shoot Trump. They caught him within a half hour.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, they got everything locked down, license plate scanners and everything. But yeah, I mean, how many representatives did we call so far tonight? We called what? I got them marked down. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
2 were bad. Yeah.
2 were bad. One was pretty cool.
2 were bad.
One was cool.
Yes.
She answered the truth. She answered the truth about it. So that was good.
2 real calls.
And one hung up on me.
And then we had a voicemail. And then the other ones were bad numbers.
Oh, okay. All right. But one hung up on me. She didn't want to know. That was Padilla. Yep. That was Padilla. That guy, we've dealt with him before. He's a jerk. His office is a jerk. So I'm going to put a check mark next to him right there. That's a jerk right there. And then, but the minority one there, she was obviously Republican, and so she told the truth about the driver's license thing. Not supposed to, but they do it anyway, basically. That's what she said. So, which that's what, you know. Oh, hey, Donnie. Donnie joined the chat room there. Hey, all my listeners. I guess everybody's boycotting my show.
Probably because I'm on here.
Nobody wants nobody wants to call in and 657-383-0616.
Tell that prick, that traitor to America, that terrorist. What's his name, Mike?
Oh, Mike, yeah. Well, people got mad because I did that too. I called him out, called him an Iranian terrorist and everything because he's been calling in Blog Talk for years. I
don't give a shit. I don't care if he works at Blog Talk. I don't give a fuck if he works at Blog Talk.
Yeah, I know. I don't care either.
Slandering people's names on, and that's the thing, We're starting to see now that these people that are not from America have no interest in being here except to try and make money and send it back to their homeland. They are stepping up and using platforms to put us down. And I'm sick of hearing
it. Divide us. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose.
Sit up there and do it. What's her name? AOC and that other one.
Hang on. We got a caller with his hand up here. Hang on here. We got another caller here. We got a caller. Yay! No, I don't.
Yeah, this is the domesticated terrorist hotline.
Yeah. Go ahead there, private caller.
I mean, it's not like I don't want to talk to you or anything, but you and Dave are on a roll, man. It's like the Dave and Joe show, man.
It's a team stuff. Hey, don't get my Fed jacket on.
What am I supposed to say?
You can say, hey, you want to join the National American Terrorist Domestic Terrorist Association? We'll send you an application.
Don't do that.
Well, now, don't you know now that the Democrats and the other people are kind of reining that in? Because that's all. Didn't we just hear Kamala say that she's glad that Trump is safe? I mean,
Oh, my God.
I mean, she meant it just like when she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And Ellen DeGeneres asked her, well, what would happen if you and Trump were on an elevator alone? And then she said, does one of us have to come out alive? She's just about as sincere as that.
What'd you think of us calling them representatives? What'd you think of us calling these representatives? What'd you think? Did you listen to that?
That was exactly what I expected, except for that one honest woman who gave you straightforward answers, probably to the best of her ability. I'm pretty sure she knows what time it is. But look, I knew you're going to get that kind of reaction from Sophia. They get kind of calls you're getting in much worse from folks like you who believe like we do, and they're used to screening them out. You could tell from the jump street that's exactly what she was trying to do. So you shouldn't have been surprised by her at all, especially from Padilla. He's an open borders advocate.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Joe. The next time we call, we got to call about property taxes next time.
There you go.
Man,
we'll address that issue.
That was exactly what I expected to hear from them folks. I'm not a bit surprised by any of it. We're at a crossroads, man. I mean, we can see what time it is here. I mean, I just like to remind folks, you were talking about the election a little while ago, and whether or not people, we have enough votes to win. You got to remember, man, Trump, you know how many counties Trump won in the last election? He won 2,497 counties. He won 18 of 19 bellwether counties. He won 18 of 19 bellwether counties. He got more votes than any incumbent president in the history of the United States, and he still lost. Biden won about 887 counties. 887. He lost 18 of 19 bellwether states. He lost seats in Congress, and he still got elected. Trump won seats in Congress, won 18 of 19 bellwether states, and won 2,497 counties, and he lost. You know some shit in rotten in Denmark.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's not what you cast on your ballot. It's who counts it that matters.
Yeah, that's what Stalin said. It don't matter how many ballots are cast. It matters who counts them.
Right.
That's right. Let me tell you this quick story here real quick before we got interrupted by a ghost. Because there was some voice there. Did you hear that voice that interrupted us?
Yeah, I heard
Did you hear that.
I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe something going wrong with my stuff. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, that was weird. Anyway, let's check this out, right? Anyway, it was my birthday. We went to Boost Mobile, and I bought a cell phone. And, of course, gave them my ID. And right away, I went, as soon as they put my name in the system, I know what's going to happen. So, and sure enough, 3 weeks later, they suspended my account. And they said, now, I bought an unlimited plan, okay, unlimited texting, unlimited calls. They said I used my phone too much. That's why they suspended my account. I'm blackballed from using Boost, they said. I can never buy Boost phone phone number again. Can you believe that?
Well, like you're in a casino when you win too much and they don't let you back in?
I don't know, man. I never heard of it. They said
Joe HT.
That's what they told me.
Hertz rental car and a couple different hotels he's not allowed to stay at because they have him on that list like that. So he can't rent a car if he goes out of town somewhere. It specifically hurts.
That is weird, man.
Listen, next time I call Boost customer service, I'm gonna record it on YouTube, and
But are you sure they didn't find out? Are you sure they didn't find out you were a Nazi or something?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Something's going on here, because this is ridiculous. Which I'm not.
You didn't want that satellite system hooked up in that.
Hey, I got a question for you, Joe. Look, this guy, Ryan Ralph, was a roofer in North Carolina. You wouldn't happen to have heard of him any time, would you?
I got a picture of him and Joe hanging out together.
He was from Greensboro. He was from Greensboro.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he was an itinerant roofer apparently because he didn't have a steady paycheck.
I never.
And
I don't
doing
know
all
him.
International traveling.
Yeah, I don't know him. I never met him. Yeah, I never met the guy. So I mean, have we ever crossed paths? I don't know. I ran a business in that city, so I had 5 trucks on the road. So
or seen him. Because 2 years ago was a pretty hot situation, and that guy leaves America to go to the Ukraine and try to recruit for the Ukrainian army, and is calling people over here trying to get him to go over there. So we got our own invasion to worry about, you dumb son of a bitch.
This guy was a fanatic for Ukraine. He hated Donald Trump. I mean, absolutely. Got hundreds of anti-Trump posts on his social media before Mark Zuckerberg was scrubbing it as vigorously as he could. But, a lot of people got screen captures of it, and I got screen captures and folks who got the screen captures. So we know what the guy was saying. We know what he was trying to do. And here's a question I got. When did the FBI and the CIA become aware of this guy? When did they know about him and when? And they need to get the top officials of the CIA and the FBI under oath to get them on the record with the lies about what they knew about him. Just get them on the record.
They already came out and said
it.
Sarge, I think they did. It was 6 years ago, I think, the number I heard. I'll look it up here in a minute.
Yeah, 2019.
They do know about him.
Yeah, 2019, they said they became aware of this guy.
Yep.
He was a security guard, you said?
No,
he's being looked at by all the agencies.
Oh. Well, I don't know if
article.
I don't know. I mean, we had those Restore the America meetings in Greensboro, and we had about 700-800 people there at the meetings a couple times. So maybe he came to those. I don't know. But if he's anti-Republic and anti-Trump, then I don't think he would have came. So I don't know. I personally don't know him.
Act Blue is who he donates to. That's a Democratic election front. Progressive and leftist.
Yeah. Well,
hey, Sarge,
never know.
Sarge,
I don't know what part of Greensboro he was from. Did they say what party
Sarge,
was from?
Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Sarge, you got this presidential detail, and this now he goes to this golf course off the actual daily agenda. So they make a substitution for this shit. So they got these guys out running cover. Of course, they each hold the golf course. Find this guy within, a half hour? It's called an hour after this person takes pictures of the car. They didn't take any pictures of him, number one. But they were called, and there was several different calls that went into the police department for gunshots heard, shots fired. Come to find out after you watch 2 and 3 different versions of this story coming from the Trump side, not one of the agents or the detail, but they say it as in several of these agents fired on this guy, and none of them fucking hit him. We got a problem.
Well, he was in a hide. He didn't have any real cover. He had concealment.
Well, where'd the bullets go?
It's possible.
Right, that's my point. The backdrop.
Yeah, well, it's possible they couldn't get a good sight picture if you're in concealment. Even though it doesn't stop any bullets. I mean, kind of hard to get a good sight picture. You can't quite see the target. Look,
where'd they go, though?
No, we're talking about snipers. Sarge, we're talking about the snipers. There's a few of the guys that are saying that they shot at this guy. Well, why didn't they fucking hit him?
All right, this guy was 300 to 500 yards away from Trump, depending upon where he was when they first engaged. Now, he had an SKS rifle. One AK, it was SKS, fires the same cartridge that an AK does. Now, look, at 500 yards, you are definitely pushing the envelope of the maximum effective range of that cartridge. You got a bullet drop of 90 inches at that range on your target. If you zero it for 150 or 200 yards, you got a bullet drop of 90 inches. Meaning, if you're aiming at a man-sized target, you got to aim 90 inches over the guy's head. Now, 300 yards is 27 inches. You see, it's like a rainbow. The trajectory of that bullet is like a rainbow. He was waiting. For Trump.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, Sarge.
He was waiting for Trump to get
I'm not talking about him firing at Trump. I'm not talking about him firing. I'm talking about the snipers and the presidential detail firing at him. They missed.
Well, I'd have to ask what they were armed with. If they were armed with handguns, I could see them missing 25 or 50 yards. If they had rifles, they would probably more. That's why I have to know more. I'd have to know more about it. And I don't know what the agents were shooting at him with.
One of the detail teams has a sniper that took shots at this guy. That guy never got it. He didn't shoot one round. The only shots fired were coming from the presidential detail or whoever was with him at that guy. He got away. That's my reaction. I think
they were shooting handguns at him?
Hey, if they're putting him down on paper as a sniper and that's his job and he's scoped up, he better not have a scope on a goddamn handgun.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if, honest to God, Sarge, I have never.
Okay, my question is.
I've never seen a scope on an AK.
Okay.
I've never seen one.
No. You can. There's a lot of people that make mounts.
Yeah. But
in SKS you can.
That gun. Yeah, then for the most part, that gun's used because it's fully auto. And
it wasn't a stock AK. A stock AK is like they issue it from the armament factory at Izmas in Russia, where they originally manufactured them. No, you can't put a scope on that without extensive modification. They're not even made.
Right.
But
and it's basically the chopper.
He had a lot of modifications, so I'm not surprised he was able to put a scope rail on it. I mean, look, they don't come with 30-round mags. SKS rifles don't come with 30-round mags. I collected dozens of them from the battlefield, man, from dead NBA. And they got a 10-round magazine that's internal. You feed it from a stripper clip. Now, you can buy modifications that remove the internal magazine and allow them to accept a detachable AK magazine. But you got to modify it.
That's for the banana clip.
Yeah, that's what they saw. That's why people call it an AK.
No, you don't have to modify it. No, you don't.
It wasn't an AK. It wasn't an AK. It was a modified SKS.
SKS as in Sam. Listen, SKSs come with the 10, yes, and they come with the strips, and you don't have to modify it to get the banana clips in there. You don't have to modify it.
No, they got a floor plate. They will not accept the detachable magazine unless you do modification.
I don't know which SKS you're talking about.
I'm telling you right now, man, I have picked up SKS. I used to keep one for a while as a souvenir. I've taken them apart a million times. They got a floor plate that pops out, but they don't. You can't put the AK magazine in without a little thing to modify. You have a little bridge.
I don't know.
They'll take them, but you got to put it in there to replace the floor plate that.
The one that I saw, hang on, the one I saw had a tripod, it had a scope on it, and it had the banana clips were able to go in, and it had the strips that you could pop into the top. So, it had folding stock.
Yeah, they'll still take the stripper clip. You can still use the stripper clip and put them right like the M14 had a bridge over the back of where the receiver is, and you could feed a 5-round stripper clip into the top of the M14. SKS, you could probably do the same thing with a detachable magazine. But I'm just saying, you do have to do some modifications for it to accept a standard AK magazine. You just can't play it out and just stick an AK in there because there's no catch to hold it in there. There's no magazine catch. The magazine catch on the AK.
You're right.
The magazine catch on the AK is in front of the trigger guard.
Yes,
there's no magazine catch to hold it there.
I know what you're talking about, but it comes with the plates. Yes.
I've never seen a scope on
I've
one.
seen it.
Never, ever.
No. With modifications, you can do it. I've seen plenty of them, but they're modified. They don't come from the factory like that.
Well, you would have thought if they were trying to do a gun grab, they want to get rid of the guns. Everybody's, they want to. Why would it put why wouldn't they put an AR in his goddamn hand?
Well, look, the SKS is one of the ones they say you can have. It ain't got no pistol grip. It ain't got no detachable magazine. You got a 10-round internal. They say 10 rounds is always the limit, right? Well, it's 10-round rifle. It's just semi-automatic. Now it's got a bayonet and a bayonet lug. Maybe that'll be a reason to ban it. I don't know. But in every other respect, it's a conventional semi-automatic rifle that fires 7.62 by 39 AK rounds. That's it. It's a conventional semi-automatic rifle based on the Garand.
And listen, Sarge, let me ask you this. If you are going to be a guy that's going to hide behind the bushes and stick your gun muzzle out the fence to shoot at the former president, wouldn't you want to put a silencer on it if you were going to have something that had a round that was that loud? Wouldn't you try
if I'm going to try to assassinate anybody, I'm not going to pick an SKS. I guarantee you that. That's a good rifle. It just ain't the most accurate.
Let me ask you this.
Good rifle. It works. It's reliable. It's rugged.
Yes.
It's just not the most. Look, if you're a sniper, you want a rifle that pinpoint accuracy with no bullet drop, high velocity, and one that shoots a flat trajectory. You're not going to pick the 7.62 by 39 millimeter round because that's not it.
All right, listen. Wow. You know how big Mar-a-Lago is, that golf course and that whole compound, that whole area? Now, picture. Let me finish. Now, if I drop you off there and you've never been there, how the hell are you going to know where Trump is?
That's the thing, because
this guy had help.
That was added. He didn't have that planned on his agenda. He did not have that on there.
Somebody helped him. I don't know who he had help.
That's right. That's right.
He got information from somewhere, somehow. He did. This guy had contact.
A leak in the Secret Service. There's a leak in it, like Lorianne said last night. There's a leak in the Secret Service. The FBI needs to be investigating the Secret Service. I believe there's a leak there.
I have no reason to doubt it. That's why I say get these bastards under oath and get them on the record with their lies. We need to have them on the record, even if they lie. Just let them hang themselves with their lies.
Give them all lie detector tests. Even though they're not foolproof, give them all lie detector tests.
No, you know what we got to do? We got to find one of them that's already that we can prove that they lied, and we string the son of a bitch up by the gallows and make an example of them. And say, now this is what happens when you turn traitor and lie. So if we catch you, this is what's going to happen. Now give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe I can get away with it. No, you will be.
Well, we called a bunch of traitors tonight on the phone. All these representatives. You know, for anybody that's tuning in and missed it, we called about 9 representatives tonight. Mm-hmm.
Well, look, Joe, I think this guy, though, if there is such a thing as a lone wolf, assuming he didn't get information from an inside source, although it looks like he may have. Let's say, for the sake of argument, he didn't. I would say he's more likely to be a lone wolf than even that guy Cook. But it's odd that both of them are in BlackRock commercials. Isn't that strange?
Except that, yeah, sports shit. Come on now. It's unbelievable. How are they coming across these guys that have already embedded themselves in the spotlight on a national platform, and then they end up doing this shit? You'd think they'd be a lot better at what they're doing if they are who they say they are. And this guy looks like an Antifa jackass with his blue and white hair half and half.
Oh man, he's classic. He's like a
fucking
classic
weirdo.
Man. He's like a stereotype.
How old was the guy? How old is the guy?
58.
56.
Yep. 56 when he was in Ukraine. Yeah, he's 58 now.
58, yeah, okay.
Wow. Well, he'll be spending the rest of his life in jail.
He didn't fire no shots.
It depends on the prosecution.
No, he didn't fire any shots. I'm sure he might have had a gun. But, I mean, in all actuality, he can only be charged with either trespassing, weapons under disability, because he's a felon.
No.
I want to know if he's got such an extensive record.
Cave.
Hey, if he's got such an extensive record, how do you fucking get out of America?
Listen, if you point a weapon at any law enforcement or any Secret Service or any public official, that's a crime.
I don't know what they just don't do that.
Absolutely.
We don't know that. They got to have that on video to do that. But I'm just saying, he didn't fire a round. That's already been proven. But the thing is, here's a guy that shouldn't be able to obtain a passport 2 years ago because his past criminal history puts him in a position that he can't have it. How the fuck does he end up in Ukraine? How did you get back there?
I disagree with that. You know, I think your constitutional rights are there. I mean, if he finished all his sentence and everything, I don't think that should be.
I'm not talking about what's right or wrong. I'm talking about what's implemented in law right now. By law, he is not permitted to have a firearm or to travel outside of the country. He can't get a passport, and he has both. And they let him go there and come back. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, North Carolina is very lenient. Hang on. North Carolina, after so many years, your rights are automatically restored. So we don't know the truth about his crimes and, you know, what he did and how many years ago it was.
Said that, I just know he's got a long list.
He got busted for a federal law. North Carolina law can't obviate a federal conviction. He had a machine gun. He was convicted for that. That's federal firearms law violation.
Yeah. Well, see, North Carolina, state feds.
I mean, North Carolina can forgive any state conviction, but they have nothing to do with this parallel, man. The lines of convictions are parallel on that.
There's a lot of cases being argued in court right now, Sarge.
Oh, yeah, well, but nothing's been overturned yet. That's the point I'm trying to. So right now,
actually, there has.
The mess up they had from the previous accident they had. It was all messed up in the.
Hang on. There's some cases right now the cases have been argued about the Second Amendment. You got to look them up. I was doing some research on it with Peter Ventura, actually, and we were looking it up. And actually, there's some cases that have sustained the fact that you're allowed to. I mean, they overturned a lot of cases. Let's put it this way: they overturned a lot of stuff lately. So I forgot the name of the cases, but tomorrow night I'll bring them up.
Firearms?
Well, they should overturn it, Joe. I mean, all of them are unconstitutional, but the point is that they're still the law right now.
Yeah.
I did hear that too, Joe, because I heard somebody say that, once your time is served, once you've been sentenced and you serve out that what you're assigned to do, once you step foot back into society, your debt is paid, and you should have a clean a clean slate. Now, pending, I mean, imagine if you have a bad past, you're probably going to recommit, do the same crime or whatever. But they should not be able to take anybody's guns unless they're an actual, and I want to say a repeat offender for some type of violence. Non-violent criminals should be able to have. We need
crime and punishment reform in this country. Crime and punishment reform has got to happen in the country. The prison industrial complex needs to be shut down. It doesn't work. It's an unsuccessful project. All it's doing is creating more harm than it is good.
But wait a minute, Joe. I got a real injustice for you here. Did you hear about the guy who was a YouTuber? He wrote about gun matters, His name is Matt Hoover, and he got sentenced to the federal pen for possession of a machine gun. Now, you know what the ATF classified as a machine gun? He was passing out as sort of a calling card for his business, a device called a lightning link, and it had the exact specifications for the lightning link was printed out on the card, on a metal card. Now, it didn't have any perforation. Now, it's a lightning link is a device that is, the ATF classifies as a machine gun, and they have to have them registered. But the ones that they have, because it turns an AR-15 into a fully automatic selective fire assault rifle.
Just like a Glock switch.
So what they convicted Matt Hoover for was passing out these cards, these metal cards that had an outline of the lightning link on them with no perforation, and the ATF said that this constituted him distributing a machine gun. They prosecuted him in federal court. He got convicted, and he got sentenced to 6 years in the federal post. Now the Supreme Court, as you know, ruled on the FRT, the force reset trigger, which allows you to fire practically the same as a machine gun. And now they're going to have to review this guy's case in light of that decision, because it had to do with Chevron deference. You know, these agencies making up their own rules without benefit of congressional legislation. But that just goes to show you what the feds are willing to do if they want to get you. They'll just stretch anything to any extent to get this guy. This guy didn't like the ATF. He regularly talked about the ATF as a bunch of tyrants. He made fun of them all the time, and they saw that as an opportunity to go after him and charge him under some bullshit federal AG.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
So they label it like he had the blueprints and he was giving out the information to make a firearm.
Machine gun, yeah. Well, remember, the ATF has classified a lightning link as a machine gun. Prior to the Hughes Amendment, if you had a lightning link, you could register it with ATF, they'd give it a serial number, and it would be classified as a machine gun. Just a little flat piece of metal with some cutouts in it. They call that a machine gun.
Well, I'm not making this up.
I'm not making this up, guys. They literally
have you seen a Glock switch guard?
Piece of metal in it, and a little flopper piece that goes in there to make the disconnector work automatically.
Yes, I know exactly what it is now. Because if you know what a Glock? Have you had a Glock, Star?
Yeah.
Okay. They make a thing. You can 3D print these little bastards. The back plate that comes off when you field strip the slide and you pull off that back plate, you know that little piece slides out. It's like a perfect shape and it slides back up and then locks. Yeah. But when you buy a Glock switch, all it has is that same exact piece, but then it has a little tiny, looks like a piece of one tooth of a fork. It's about an inch long. It's got a little bit of a taper to it. You take yours out, put that one in. Your 9mm is full auto right then.
Yeah, I know. And they're really big on that. They're saying that because most of them they used to make them in China, and they'd be illegally distributing them in the United States. They even put the Glock trademark on the back, although they weren't made by Glock. But they put the Glock trademark on the back of them, and they're Glock switches. You can, like you said, you can 3D print them very easily, and they work just fine. Right. But it makes an impractical machine pistol because the rate of fire is like 1,600 rounds a minute.
We're advising everybody not to do this at home. We're not giving out any advice here. So this is only
for everybody what the ATF says about it.
It's entertainment purposes only, and this is a disclaimer 100%. But I watched him stick a 50-round drum mag in and melt one Glock all the way down. That guy fired it with two. It looked like he had two separate 50-round mags in one clip, and he fired that thing for about 5 seconds solid, and it didn't skip a beat, and it almost melted that gun down. And you could belt feed that thing. You could belt feed it.
It's impractical.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Firearm.
I don't own any firearms, and I'm not allowed.
It's on YouTube. You can see it on YouTube if you just Google Glock switch. It'll show you these idiots that are actually.
I don't even watch videos that have to do with it.
Well,
you can't aim the damn thing.
You have just manufactured a machine gun, and you are now 2 years in the federal slam. It takes
They're big on them in Chicago, Sarge, because that's all the gangs are using.
To put a Glock switch on a Glock is manufacturing a machine gun, and that was a violation of federal law, and it can get you up to 10 years in the plant. So we just want to tell the audience that, too.
Yep, you will go to jail. It's a $10,000 fine and immediate jail time. And, I mean, there's guys, they show that, like, I think 2020 did a little bit of a clip on, they're trying to talk to the policeman. They're like, what's going on with these switch things? They show a guy who just takes a fork, like a regular dinner fork, and he bends it where one of those little teeth are sticking out. He cuts the part of you hold with your hand, the handle part of the fork off, and sticks that inside the back of that gun and does the same damn thing. I said, you got to be kidding me.
Did you know that John Browning, the great firearms inventor, he took a lever-action Winchester Model 94 rifle and he turned it into a machine gun. He used the gas trap at the muzzle. That he had a link that he hooked up to the lever of the gun, and a spring, fully automatic.
No
John Browning turned a Winchester 94 lever-action rifle into a machine gun.
Now I've seen a 22.
In fact, after he did that, by the way, he then went on to invent the 1897 Potato Digger Marlin machine gun for the Marlin Rifle Company, and they sold it to the Army, and the Army bought thousands of them. But it was basically, he took the idea from when he turned that Winchester lever-action cowboy rifle into a machine gun, and he just turned it into a recoil-operated machine gun.
Well, like I said, guys, time out. Like I said, I comply with all codes and statutes. I don't want any problems with anybody. I stay in my room all day and do nothing.
Right. I threw all my guns in the bottom of the lake. Mine are in the bottom of the lake, so when I go fishing anyway. But I like watching these videos of these idiots, because this guy took a 22 rifle, he altered it, and it looked like a Gatling gun. He's got a hand crank on the side of it, and he's got a belt, a whole box of 22 to come on a belt, and he sticks it in there. It looks like an old Israeli Uzi almost, and he just starts cranking this thing by hand. As fast as you want to crank it, as fast as it shoots. And I'm like,
it's legal too. That's legal because it doesn't.
We're not talking about. So, hey, guys, somebody put something in the chat room. They said, "You all crazy? We're talking about making machine guns." No, we're not. We're talking about cartoons, cartoon characters.
We're talking about publicly available information about this. This has all been attested to by the FBI and the ATF when they talk about the Glock, which is they tell everybody exactly what we're saying. Exactly what we're saying. And we're saying it's a matter of history. John Browning is a historical figure, and many people have written books about how he turned a Winchester rifle into a machine gun. Nobody got prosecuted for telling people how to make machine guns. It's not a secret. They've been making machine guns since the 19th century. And the technique of building them and how they operate is well known to millions of people.
I don't think the Chinese even have an arrow shooting, like a Gatling gun that shoots arrows out of it.
Well, look, the ATF says that a hand-operated machine gun, where you have to crank it like a Gatling gun, is legal to own. They do not classify Gatling guns as machine guns. As long as they got a crank, you got to turn by hand.
Yeah. Well, I don't even own a hammer, okay? Or, so I don't know anything about that stuff.
Well, how are you putting all together all them little buildings you're putting together, them outhouses? What are you putting nailing it with? A what?
I used the old school type of stuff, from like back in the 1700s and stuff. I don't any type of modern day tools. Like I said, they're too dangerous, especially chainsaws and stuff like that. Man, axes,
you can go.
Too dangerous.
You can go on the web. There's all kind of information. What do these people in Congress always complain about? They have hearings on it. They complain about people having access to how to build bombs. Chemistry school, they teach you how to build a bomb. We used to teach you that in chemistry school in high school. And the congressional people are always complaining.
You said all the key words there. We're all red flag now.
And the congressional and the people in Congress are always complaining about how people have access to learn how to do it, and it's available in textbooks. It's available in the library.
You know how the Amish, you know how they use it? They got this screw thing that with a wheel that screws the hole. You know, you crank it, and that's how you screw things. That's what I use.
Yep, I've seen it. Oh, that's good. Sarge,
well,
back
good.
in Chicago, I think it was. How long ago were you actually involved with anything going on in Chicago-wise, Sergeant? You might have heard about the trains that were the federal trains that come through there, and they actually robbed a government stash of all kinds of weapons in the past 5 years, I think it is. And did you ever hear about that?
Actually, the government doesn't ship firearms that way, but the manufacturers of them do. And sometimes people in the railroads who get hold of the manifest can tell people what car they're going to be on, because a lot of times they're not even secured with padlock. The only thing they got on them is a registration tag.
Yeah.
Well, apparently,
when I was working security, when I was working security up there at the truck stop, the trucks used to come in with parts and everything. So, but we used to have to keep a close eye on that stuff. So, I mean,
Joe, imagine you look at that manifest and you know you're working, and you look scrolling down. Okay, what do we got? Boxes of toilet paper. We got hot dogs.
It's all scanned.
Drone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how about drone? Drone comes in a box, and then you get robbed. And they take the drone. That happened in Chicago. They literally.
Hey, they got so many cameras in that freaking place. They got cameras watching me, cameras watching me, and the cameras watching them. You know what I mean?
Watching you, but here,
nobody knows who
it doesn't matter
because
the camera's not stopping them from robbing you. They're taking this shit. What I'm saying.
Man, look, hey, those robberies you're talking about, Dave, they were common in Chicago, man. They would be ripping off. It was an inside job. People in the railroad who knew who had copies to the manifest could tell their buddies what train cars they were in, and they would go in and they'd boost them. It was common.
That's exactly it.
That's
what I saw
the
show was on.
You know?
Hey, these guys.
Yeah,
hey,
but
Joe,
it's
they
not
had
worth
like
it.
A manufacturer of shoes, and they had these coats and these like jumpsuits. These people were fucking climbing all over the train. After the train went through, for about a half a mile, there was so much debris, trash, cardboard boxes from them looting a moving fucking train for this shit. I swear to God. Google that.
I wouldn't want to go to jail for that. I mean, even the $10 million isn't even worth stealing, you know, because it's just not worth it, you know, because you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught. Yep. You know, everybody gets caught, you know.
And remember, the railroads got their own police. They got the railroad police.
Yes.
And they're not bad at doing what they do, tracking that stuff down.
Yeah.
They're old. They're one of the oldest law enforcement agencies in the United States, and they're pretty good at tracking down train robbers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody gets caught, but how do they get away with these conspiracies like 9/11 and everything? That's what I'm saying. How do you get away with this stuff when you can't? 10 people can't keep a secret. You know, I mean, you know what I mean?
Well,
that's why you gotta wonder.
That's why they get caught so much. Too many people have to be involved.
They hide it in plain sight, right in front of you.
In plain sight. Yeah. Well, hey,
but with a train,
what do you think about Russia? What do you think about Russia and the nuclear? You think we're going to go to nuclear war or what?
There's been that potential ever since Russia got the bomb back in 1948. So it's always possible.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Especially with
Ukraine,
stupid idiots we got running in this country. Ukraine is desperate.
Well, yeah.
They're losing. They've got to get somebody into the fight. So that's why they're escalating matters. They're losing. So,
you think Putin would do it? You think Putin would start a nuclear strike? You think Putin would start a nuclear strike? You think he'd start something like that?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to do that. I just don't think they're going to kill everybody for that, but I don't know. Hey, 4 years ago yesterday, Trump put out a tweet.
Look, I know Putin will do it if he faces an existential threat. I know he will.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, as long as he doesn't feel like he's either facing a threat or he's going to lose that war, he ain't going to let himself lose that war because of what NATO or the United States does. He might. I ain't going to say he wouldn't. That's for sure.
Hey,
at the very least, tactical nuclear weapons he might be willing to use, hoping
he might launch
or maybe
something
banking on that it wouldn't get strategic nuclear weapons.
He'd want something to Ukraine.
One of these news agencies yesterday said that Trump retweeted something in the lines of, and then they played the video again. And I looked back through my BitChute, and I actually found this video that this guy was playing. And there's a guy that worked for the CIA in the Middle East for like 20 or 25 years, 4 years ago. Now, he came forward as a whistleblower back then and said that when Osama bin Laden was killed by SEAL Team 6, that was an all false flag bullshit story because we had, and this guy's telling me,
I know, that's why. Yeah.
Did you see all that about that? And then I found out that Obama sends all that money on them skids to the Middle East, to Iran. Well, the Iranians made a deal. It came out with this whistleblowers that Brennan and Hillary Clinton made the deal with Iran that they would tell them where bin Laden was at. Before they told the Iranians come back to Clinton and Brennan, they said, we got him. He's in his Islamabad, and he's going to be there. So that's when they made that attack on that fortress, but they switched that son of a bitch out for his double. That's why the story went to bin Laden's body being dumped at sea, which it was never even dumped at sea. They dumped his body over the mountains because they knew SEAL Team 6 had come across the fact that when they sent that DNA on him, it didn't come back as him. So they knew. So they kill all at SEAL Team 6. Clinton and Brennan are behind. Brennan's a Muslim. Are you shitting me?
Yeah. Well, they didn't kill SEAL Team 6. They didn't kill them.
They died in died in that Chinook.
No, that was Operation Red Wings. That was Operation Red Wings. That was in 2005.
This is what I'm talking about. The guys that went in to get bin Laden found out, and they knew. So everybody knew what was going on. But Iranians switched him, and they said, if you want Obama you want your next 4 years as presidency, you send us $152 million, or we're going to release this to the press, and that's that. Well, Clinton, everybody's already celebrating at the White House. You know, the people out in the street dancing, they got bin Laden and all this shit. Well, when that happened, Hillary Clinton had, I guarantee her penmanship's on it, and on that list of people that she likes to stack up annually, with all those guys that knew that these two fucking sat in office and were behind this. She was the one that directed that whole operation. Apparently, Obama didn't even know it was going to happen until it was happening. Isn't that all kind of awkward?
Yeah, I don't think they whacked out an entire SEAL team, though. I don't think they can get away with that, and not some kind of controversy. I don't know.
An accident. It was a Chinook helicopter that went down. They needed maintenance and all that bullshit. But they're saying that the rocket-propelled grenade went off inside that Chinook, and it should never happen.
When did that happen?
I have to look at my phone. It was. I know 4 years ago is when the actual tweet came out, and the guy with the whistleblower. That was 4 years ago.
Are you talking about what happened to Extortion 6 days?
That might be.
I think it is. Yeah. There was also breaches of security that people were saying involved that mission that happened too. Like people were transmitting things that should have been encoded about their operation.
Yeah.
And they were doing it in the clear. They were broadcasting in the clear without encrypting it.
Right. Now, when did what was the football player's name that got shot that quit the NFL?
Pat Tillman.
Patrick Tillman.
Oh God.
Apparently, Benghazi tied into Pat Tillman.
You know, I think more like Pat Tillman was really that he was just disenchanted with the whole war effort in Afghanistan. He was really saying out loud things about it being we were wrong to be there. And
I don't know about that.
He was definitely doing his duty. Don't get me wrong, but he thought that the whole war effort was misguided and they were screwing it all up.
And he's a big name.
And remember, the army tried to cover up the circumstances of his death. They didn't report it as a friendly fire instance initially. They said he'd been KIA'd by enemy forces, and that wasn't true. They had to issue an apology and retract all of it, remember?
And that's because they found a grouping of 3 shots, wasn't it, into the head? 3 groupings of headshots, so it was like he was sniped out. Is that correct?
I'm not exactly sure about that, but I do know that the Army did admit he was killed by friendly fire. Now, they admitted it.
That's right.
So it's not like it's in dispute as far as what the Army says. Remember, they gave him a Bronze Star, and they said it was a result of enemy action. And at the time, there were no enemy or terrorist forces involved in the action that got him killed. It was all friendly fire.
What, and you got to ask yourself, what did Hillary Clinton bleach 33,000 emails and stuff and them drives with what she had with what was going on over there? Is she running guns for somebody? Is that what they're trying to put together? I thought there was somebody who was saying, hey, that's how she just, I mean,
Biden ran guns to the Taliban. Shit, $86 billion worth.
That's right.
Shit.
They said,
what were you Hillary Clinton for?
Hey, I saw a video where them guys are driving them Humvees, them Afghanis over there, after we abandoned them, and they said, this guy's talking, he goes, listen, we're not the best pilots. We can get them started, we can get them up, and you should see in the background, there's a son of a bitch with an Apache helicopter, he's flying around, and all of a sudden he goes straight up and straight down into the ground. He goes, but I didn't say we could land them.
Oh, that's my
swear to God.
Okay.
What in the...
That's funny.
But they can't maintain the maintenance on them. That's the thing that kills them.
Well, Benghazi, the compound and everything. I mean, that was a bloodbath there. I mean, that was bad. What happened there? How that went down.
That whole story makes me sick. That's one of the very first things I actually saw that I thought this government is so fucking corrupt that when that Tonto guy tells that story, and these guys did that movie, I'm like, what? These sons of bitches flat out abandon them. Just abandon them.
Yeah. They sure did. They left them for dead.
That is just, I'm trying to look at that video.
Sure did. They left them for dead. And they didn't know who they were fighting.
You ever seen the only Medal of Honor action captured in its entirety? A guy had been an Air Force rescueman who got left by the people that were there, and the whole thing caught on video. You can watch it on YouTube.
Who, Murphy?
They caught the entire action from overhead, his entire Medal of Honor action, which he single-handedly took out several bunkers. And it's all on video. And the problem that with the armed forces had was the guy was left behind after he'd been wounded.
Who was
the guy they gave the Medal of Honor to?
Check your phone, Joe.
Name? My phone don't work.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not.
Sarge?
I can't think of his name right now, but if you Google it on YouTube, you can watch the whole thing.
Was it Lieutenant Murphy?
No. That was the one Lone Survivor movie was based on. This is another guy. He was an Air Force. He was an Air Force pararescueman.
Oh, I see it, Dave. I see it. It's on my Facebook.
Okay.
It's not my phone.
Yeah, it's your messenger. I sent the messenger.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's that
like
hour-long movie about. See, it does say Bin Laden, SEAL Team 6 scandal.
Another caller here wants to get into, guys. Just let you know. So it's just on an earthquake, man. Freaking, we got bad weather, I guess.
Hey, we can't get a cell signal. We can't get Blog Talk to stay online and have a good signal, but this guy can make a call out.
My whole house just shook. The hell was that?
But if you guys could catch that on YouTube, you ought to watch it. It's really remarkable. They caught the whole damn thing. All of his action. You can see him assaulting those bunkers single-handedly and taking them out.
Holy mackerel. Go ahead, 214. 214.
It's Big Gunslinger. It's Big Gunslinger.
Oh, what's up?
What's down? My internet's still down.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Your phone is working a little bit better tonight compared to last night.
I'm on a different headset than my other headset.
Oh, okay. Last night was terrible, man. It was just terrible, man. So what's on your mind?
I know. I don't know what the subject. I was just sitting there calling in to see what the subject was.
Oh, we called about 9 representatives tonight. Did that in the beginning there, called them up and, debated with them for a little while. And, of course, we got hung up on a couple times and told off, and, our representatives that represent us, And we're talking about Benghazi, talking about, basic stuff, dirty government stuff, the border. Illegals getting driver's licenses. Illegals getting driver's licenses. That was the main topic. Yeah, illegals getting driver's license and then going to vote. So what's the deal with that, man? What's up with Texas? They getting driver's license there?
Oh, I'm sure. If they're getting driver's license all the other places, I'm sure they're getting them here in Texas too. And when I have to go and renew my driver's license because mine expired, I took my driving test and shit when I was 15 years old. I'm 60 years old now. I've got to go down there and retake the fucking test. Retake the goddamn test, the written and the driving. But yet they fucking give these cocksuckers jumping over the fucking border. Just give them driver's license. Just give it to them. Something fucked up with that.
Yeah, well, I see what you're talking about, Gunslinger, but also to that person just sent me a message. Yes, I see that too. But that's fine. If they're taking what Dave brought up the subject is this: is they're getting a driver's license, so this way here they can vote. And that's the whole reason. It's not just so they can drive, because once they get a driver's license, and Minnesota has a law. Minnesota, you know what the requirements are to vote in Minnesota? Oh, you got to have an ID. And proof of address. That's it. You don't have to be a citizen. That's crazy.
It's crazy. These people are allowing people. Yeah, these people are allowing people that are not even citizens in this country to vote in our elections to decide the law for all of us. Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and they want to kick me off the ballot. Off the ballot.
Yeah, they want to kick you off the ballot.
They let someone that actually shouldn't even be in position she's in now to be political like she is to get office and make these choices and run for president. She's not even permitted to do it. Why don't they say something?
Yeah.
Yep, true.
I mean, guys,
hey, you know why nothing happens? I figured
all
it
day
out.
long. What's the action plan? What's the action plan? What are we going to do about it?
I know one thing. We got to figure out how everybody that hangs out in Washington, D.C., because it's a sovereign, separate country than it is the United States of America, because it's not one of our states. It's a separate entity altogether. That's the laws they abide by. That's why we don't have any accountability held there, because they don't have to follow the goddamn laws that we have for ourselves here. That goes for there, London City, and the Vatican. The only 3 places on the planet to have that scenario.
How are we going to change the laws, man? How are we going to get these laws changed? How are we going to restore the republic? That's what I want to know. I'm starting to get lost here.
We have to rebuild it, start all over.
When you have people that you said you called a while ago, and they basically spit in your face, laugh at you, and hang up, there's the problem right there. There's a start right there. We send these representatives, so-called representatives, to represent we the people, not their personal agenda, okay? And then when they get into that position, they say, oh, the people? Who's that? You ever heard of the people? I can have some of that underhanded money. Thank you.
And then they let people answer the phones. You're supposed to be able to call and get information from someone that has a desk job that has information, and you call them, they don't have any information.
Yeah, they want my information. Yeah. I'm calling them to get information, and they want my information. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Assholes. You know what I mean? Okay.
Hey, Joe, I brought a bunch of about a few new people on board. I'm on the line now with Bianchi and Kathy. Yeah. So I guess they'll chime in when they're ready.
Chime in. Press 1.
That's a good one, Joe. That's a good one. I called to get some information, and the lady that answered me didn't have any information, but she wanted my information. Swear to God.
Backwards.
What's
up, Bianchi? What's the word, man? What's the word?
Man, we've been fighting people all day long. You know,
tell me about it.
People are just dumb, man. They are dumb.
Tell me about it.
I told you, they're not dumb. People are brainwashed by our mainstream media and the information that we get. You know, they're not. They're just brainwashed. You know, they believe what they see. You know, so you know, just give mankind just a little credit. You know, wait till a lot of this is exposed and more of it comes out. You know, hopefully they won't go berserk. You know, when they find out a lot of this stuff.
Do we have time for that, though? I mean, you know?
The next 20 years. Bianchi, tell me about that Department of Justice Settlement Fund.
Yeah, I was listening to Michael Berry, the host here in this area, and he was telling a story about Kamala Harris' sister husband. His name is Wes something, and he's the brother of Kamala Harris' husband, and they all know with Obama. But anyway, there's a Department of Justice Settlement Fund, and apparently we can imagine how that's used with no accounting, and they just been getting rich off of this thing, man. It's money laundering.
Money laundering, yeah.
What?
It is.
It's the Department of Justice Settlement Fund.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm going to look into that.
Why?
They're willing to take Trump out. Is that what they pay out of?
Hang on, somebody's talking. Go ahead, Kathy. Go ahead.
When Trump was in office, he done away with it, and Joe Biden put it back into effect, and that's what's going on. They are raping the United States, left and right.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
It don't take a person to figure out why they want to get rid of Trump so bad. Trump is rocking their boats, and they don't like it. They want business.
Well, that's obvious. That's obvious. Yeah.
There's a problem
I'm
with
talking
Trump,
about the Republicans too.
The problem with
the rhinos.
Trump sits down and says that the death penalty should be brought back for those who are not, or those who are anti-Israel. Now, that's what he said openly in an interview, and I got to tell you, I am not pro-Israel. I ain't never going to be pro-Israel or Ukraine.
No.
I'm pro-America. No. When that guy says that, we got a problem.
Yep.
We got a big problem.
Yep. You know who was one of Kamala Harris' mother's advisors when she was running for political office out there in California?
No.
Matthew Rothschild.
No. Say it's not so. Oh my God.
Makes sense. Though. Nothing surprises me anymore.
That don't surprise me.
Hey.
No, none of that.
Hey, Joseph, you got a new fan.
Wow.
You know that?
What's that?
You got a new fan. You got a new fan that's calling you a Nazi.
Really?
You missed Crazy Nation Radio last night. Man, it was an epic show.
What's his name? Mike Pakistan, a Singapore Mike.
No. Yeah, it wasn't Mike this time. It was George Zinser of Firefox News Online. He called you.
I can't hear him. What did you say, Gunslinger? What did you say? Hang on, we're talking over Gunslinger. Go ahead, Gunslinger.
He called you a Nazi. He called Tucker me a Nazi. He called Ron a Nazi. Called Cat a cunt. I mean, it went over like an hour and a half. Boy,
I wasn't
it
even
was
on
great.
there, though. How did my name get involved?
I don't know.
I wasn't even on there.
I think he's talking your show, too. He's talking to everybody else's show. So, yeah.
Oh, well, where is he? Tell him to call in. I want to have it out with him.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where's this punk at?
New York.
Hey, Joseph.
Yes.
That's exactly what he wants, is for you to engage with him. Don't give him the satisfaction.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
Don't.
Okay.
You're better than that. You are a lot better.
Yeah, he's just a bottom dweller moonbat. That's all. He's just a moonbat who lives in his grandma. You know.
Yeah, he's just a punk. He's just a fucking punk.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Y'all I understand what you're saying, but I tell you about me, I'm ready to start kicking ass. The hell with that shit.
Bianchi, let me tell you this. You ready? This will really get your blood boiling. There's a guy that's in Texas, and he's already got one person in 48 states that they can all confirm. Huh?
No, I'm just saying, somebody got their hand up. I'm going to unmute him.
This guy found out because he owns a bunch of different properties. What happens is, and some of the properties are for residential use, and some of them he uses for commercial and has gains monetary value out of them. So they do an assessment. Now, I just had my assessment for 6 years here in my county, in this state, and they raised mine 35%, and that's not over the next 6 years. That's starting this year. It's up right now, 35% on your property taxes. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. How can you even do this? So this guy kept the state of Texas.
573.
Actually,
573. Hang on. 573. Who's this?
It's me, man. Damn, it's about time. My arm is tired of holding it up, Joe. Fuck.
Who's this? Ronnie? Ron Rex?
Yeah, Ron Rex.
So anyway,
okay.
Johnson,
everybody loves so much of.
And it's a complete scandal on all the fiscal offices in every county of every state, probably, because this 35% markup, and I know for a fact because yesterday was my state or my city council meeting, and I'm always at them so I can raise hell. In the fiscal office, the treasurer brought up they wanted to pass a bill, an emergency order, because they want the funding that they just passed last year for us to have to pay that 35%. They want to be able to access that immediately, so they're trying to push this bill through. So now this guy's got the documentation of these people actually going on the record and saying, yes, we inflated the property value because they just can't come out and say, hey, we need to get a levy going, where they want to raise your property. They can't just do that. So they have to go through this whole bullshit scheme that they've been doing, and they did it all across the country. And I was one of the guys that called in and said, hey, they got me for 35%. Are you saying this is how they're raising it? Because the school levies aren't going to pass all the time, and their operating fund has to go up. So they have to figure out a way to do it, and it's the property.
Oh, wait a minute. Ain't that the same shit that Letitia James got Trump on? Inflating property values in order to get preferential treatment for insurance and loans?
Mm-hmm.
And it's tied into the pensions of the city workers and the school teachers because the schools don't generate any revenue. It's all taken in. They don't take it. So they get their pension funds funded through the property tax. Now, this scam, in this one county, this guy's got $67 billion worth, and he's all lowballing them. If all America wakes up and hears this and understands, like myself, I had to sell my house because I can't afford to pay the property
we're going
tax.
into overtime, people. We're going into overtime. Just to let you know, we're going into overtime.
So if you get behind in them, they'll foreclose on you. So if you have any equity in your home, you have to sell it in order to get that. So if that happens to everybody in this country, or anybody it's happened to, I'm one of them, they're going to have a war, all right.
Time out. We're going into overtime, people. Overtime. So you can be cut off if you're listening via the internet. So you got to call in at 657-383-0616. Press 1 if you want to talk. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to put the video. It's about 50 minutes long. The guy that owns the properties that's brought the lawsuits forward, he's won every one of them so far that he's got in Texas. But now he's got all these other 48 states that are actually complying with him, and they have to see the same thing going on in every state through the fiscal office of property taxes. And I'll tell you what.
It's going on here too. Yeah.
It's going to be a fucking ball of fire when it gets
doubled the property taxes here. They doubled them. All in my community doubled them. I told them they were going to do it. I said, vote for me. They didn't want to do it. So, hey,
he does an algorithm that says that 37% of the people in America right now, can't afford to pay their property taxes.
Man, they got a cruise missile hit my house.
That's right.
Or their mortgage.
Right.
That's not how your utilities and maintenance on the house. You know, the other things you have to pay for. And so you're looking at these. They want to foreclose on them, what they're trying to do, and they're making money off them buying them back for next to nothing. So that's why BlackRock and these bastards have such a stranglehold, Vanguard, and all of them doing this. And this is what's going on. That's what you're seeing. This has been going on. And I hope they string every fucking one of them up.
Yeah. Well, we're not advocating violence. We're not going to advocate violence. If they're found guilty, if they're found guilty,
they get their day in court. Absolutely, they get their day in court. But it's not a process like most. It's a sun up. It starts, and by sundown, we have either a guilty or an innocent. And you will be charged accordingly.
Everybody gets their day in court, yes. Everybody gets the process of the law.
I'm going to tell you about that.
You know there's a way around this.
Well, yeah.
Yes, they should be.
There's a way around paying taxes.
Yeah, they should be tried in court and convicted, but they shouldn't be given the punishment of a criminal. They should be given the punishment of a treason. And nothing less than a gallows.
I want to hear Ron Rex. I want to hear this way out of taxes thing. I want to hear about this. Well, how do you get out of paying taxes? This will be a good one.
I hope it's not
okay. It's easy. It's easy. Okay, here's the deal. I have been taught by some of the top professionals in the game how to do this, okay? One, Jim Baker. He was one. And also Jimmy Swaggart and the Copelands, all these son of bitches. Go straight to Jesus. Go to Jesus, get you a 501c, claim your property's a church, and you pray to God there and whatever else you pray to. Sacrifice goats, whatever he turns you on to show your shit. Then you're tax exempt, okay? Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus. Crazy Nation Radio.
Nah, they get hammered, those guys, man. They get hammered, too.
No, they don't.
If you got a big yard, they don't
pay
the goats off. Buy goats and use it to mow the grass, move them in circles.
Exactly, and you could do anything. Actually, I'm telling you what, you get a 501c just because you want to recycle motor oil, or car tires, or grass, or trees, or whatever bullshit reason you have. Yeah, exactly.
You're right, because I did see somebody talk about that. And they
what
just
you
said
should do is give out a couple loads of bread or something to some people.
That's it. I would send out pamphlets and email, multi-emails. You know, praise the Lord, send me money, fucking great in Jesus. That's it. That's all I need. Well, I'm a church. I'm a non-denominational. I'm non-denominational, so I'm not a member of any church group, which, you know, what is that one, ABA, whatever it is, American Baptist Association. That's actually a company.
I never heard of them.
Churches. Oh, yeah. Look them up. They're there. Absolutely. Yeah,
ABA. First flyer and thing I put out.
I'm against 501c3s.
Hey,
against
the
that.
tithing is getting raised. Everybody's tithe is going up 25% day one as soon as you get here. So make sure you bring your checkbook.
That's right. When you come to church now, don't bring money, bring a checkbook. That's right. We got a credit card reader. You know, come up to the altar. Jesus, with your money.
That's right. I believe.
Yeah, but hang on. Why does everybody get mad at churches for asking for money? Why? What's the big deal about that?
Because
Mike said that too.
They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pay taxes.
Listen, Mike said that too. Yeah, but that makes him a Nazi, right? Because that's what Mike said the other night on that radio show. He said that if you ask for donations, you're a Nazi.
Okay, so I'm a Nazi. So fucking what? Doesn't matter. Well, if I got to claim to be a Nazi on 501c, I'm going to claim it. I don't care what you call me. As long as I get that 501c, I don't give a fuck.
The Church of Satan does not take any type of donations for anything. I do know that for a fact, because I know somebody goes, and because they don't do that, they fall in a whole other category. That's phenomenal. Yeah. Hell, Satan! I'm down with Satan. Oh, wow.
Now, 501c3, the Bible tells you you can't have two fathers in heaven. You can't idol worship. That's idolatry. That's idol worship.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How can you have the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost? Then there's three people.